Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yes. Happy Friday.
Oh man, it's just us. There's no audience.
There's no
Brad.
just. There's no just. It's us.
It's us.
And we are enough.
We are enough. And if you just turned on the TV and you've been gone for a few days and you're like, where's Jason? Well, he's gone. It's okay. I'm Kendall. You know
I'm
Miss
Miss
Shannan. We're here. He's back on Monday. He'll be joining us later.
Yes.
If you keep your TVs on, because this is pretty hilarious. So
I'm glad that he's joining us because I had a New Year's Eve gig and everybody wanted to know where was Jason and what he was doing on his vacation. I'm like, you know what he does every time he's on a vacation. So there were some people that were very excited because they are also Disney fans.
Okay.
And so they were like, did he buy this? Does he own one of these? Did he get one of these things made yet? So we can check in all those
Did he
things.
get this thing
Yes,
done
and
yet?
so they just wanted to know all of the things that he had collected while he was at Disney this time.
I talked a little bit about this with Tom yesterday, but he's been there since Christmas, and I'm like, I guess there's enough to do there.
Oh, sure.
I've never been.
It is a world. It's a world that he can do. Plus, I think it's one of those places that it's like when you go someplace you're really familiar with, he goes there so often, there's just little places that he like tucks in and just hangs out.
That's true. Like his one bar that he likes to go to, and like Harry Potter.
It's
World.
actually probably less stressful because you don't feel like you have to do everything.
Right.
And it's like, well, what one line do I want to stand at this time? Kind of like when we go to the fair. We go to the fair so often,
That's
you can
true.
kind of go, if I don't get to it today, no big deal.
That's a good point. I said that all the time. I'm like, I'm very good at the fair at
Yes.
this point in my life. Well, we haven't seen you since the New Year. Happy New Year.
Thank
How
you.
are things
Happy
with
New Year to you. It has been surprisingly busy, even though we just started the new year, but it's going well.
Yeah.
You know, I'm feeling like 2020, it feels good so far.
Okay.
Plus, all the things that used to make it hard, like when we were like all younger, well, when I was younger and I had to like write the date on checks and stuff, we don't have to do any of this stuff anymore. So you can't mess things up. No, you don't have to remember. So it's all good. So,
Do you have any shows coming up or anything?
yeah, I am actually going to be at a couple of places later this month, and I will tell everybody later because my brain is fried and I don't remember where I'm at right now.
doesn't
So it'll be
know.
on my website, missshannan.com.
On that healthy, happy note, get your spoon. Because it's time for the hot dish.
Yay!
You have a spoon too.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. I'll stir
We
with you.
hardly ever get to do this.
No.
You really got to take
I
advantage
don't
of
like
it.
to touch his spoons. I feel like it's touching something personal. I feel like that's Jason's spoon.
Jason's spoon. Speaking of personal things, it's the new season of The Bachelor, which nothing stays personal. Debuts on Monday night, and it's shaping up to be the most dramatic, and wait for the pun, turbulent season of all time. Here's a clip from the trailer.
You can't do these things with other women, or I'm leaving.
I don't want this just to feel like it's all about sex, but I have been intimate. I can't lie to you about that.
I'm so done. It just hurts. It hurts really bad.
I can't understand how she could give up. There's so much right now that's just destroying my heart. I'm so confused right now. What are you doing here?
Making decisions for my heart. Because I know there's still something there, and I would do anything for a relationship.
Hannah Brown. What I'm about to say is extremely crazy. What would you say if I asked you to come be part of the house?
Oh my God!
Oh man, what they didn't show right there was my favorite moment, where the one girl who's screaming, you see her face like, she's like terrified that Hannah might be coming back. Well, Chris Harrison spoke to The Hollywood Reporter before the show's debut, and he called Pilot Pete the most open and inclusive bachelor the show's ever seen, which we don't know what that means.
Nope.
He says he won't be able to predict how the show ends. Weird. Calling Pete's journey to find love a wild, emotional, gut-wrenching ride right up until the very end.
So do you think that there's going to be lots of like facial memes in this one? Where it'll be like somebody makes some face that everybody goes viral and that's what
Like the one girl that I just did.
Yeah, right. So maybe that'll happen. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm probably not gonna watch it, but I have some friends that are gonna watch it.
like,
I
don't lie
keep
to
saying,
me.
because I have a girlfriend that's super into it, so I'm like, she seems very enthusiastic about Pilot Pete, so I was like, maybe this will be the season, and then I thought better about it. I'm like, you're not gonna watch it, but I'm gonna listen to her, and then
Okay.
you can tell me about it.
Yeah,
Because
well-
it does look interesting this season, and everybody seems to really like Pete.
People like him. He's very, I don't know, like vanilla. So you can't like love him and you can't not like him.
Okay, so he's just that, he fits with everybody a little bit. He's not gonna be that person where you're going, I don't think you deserve The Bachelor, but you're also not saying it's gonna be really exciting.
Right.
So he might be a stable husband. He'll just go to work every day, come home.
He'll be very
They'll make
stable.
They'll make pasta. It'll be fine.
It'll be great. They'll have their kids in some Spanish immersion school.
Right.
It'll be fine. It'll be very good.
Very stable
Oh
family.
gosh, the 3-hour premiere airs Monday night, and you guys know.
3 hours.
Oh yeah, girl, buckle up. There's more puns. Buckle up,
I
people.
did enjoy that because I've watched all of the trailers, and I do enjoy that they have doubled down on all of the pilot puns. Like every flight reference, every journey reference, every travel reference. They're
Turbulent.
like, I'm sure it's turbulent. I'm sure that the writers are like, this is our day.
Yeah, and if you guys are like Shannon and probably aren't going to watch this, don't worry. America Loves Ted. He will give us recaps.
Even
It'll be
better.
Great.
Even better.
Great. Well, next to the dish, the Biebs is out with his new single, and it's oh so delicious and tasty. Here's a new clip of the song called Yummy.
Yeah, you got the yummy, the yummy, the yummy, say the word on my way. Yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. Any night, any day. Say the word on my way. Yeah, babe, yeah, babe, yeah, babe. In the morning or late. Say the word on my way. Bonafide stallion.
This is Justin's first solo single since his last album, Purpose, from 2015. He goes on tour later this spring with a stop in the Twin Cities if you left him in June. Now,
It's
I'm
a
gonna
little
hand it
shoulder
over.
bopper, don't you? I think it's,
Okay.
you know, and he's definitely not reinventing the Justin Bieber, you know,
Right.
world with coming out with this or going in another direction. And he's been gone, but he's been on a bunch of other people's tracks. So
Right.
it wasn't really like we had a chance to miss Justin. It just wasn't his home, you know, kind of thing. I'm like, oh, look, you're on that song. Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Do you like Justin Bieber?
I do. I like him. I'm one of those people, I don't seek him out.
Right.
But when he comes on, he's kind of like an Ed Sheeran to me. I'm just like, oh yeah, I like this song. Oh,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Well, the one
You know?
that he did with Ed Sheeran, I had on repeat you know,
Right.
for a while. So I think that that's really good. So
Right.
I'm going to listen to it. And it's the kind of song that we're all going to have like yummy earworms by the end of the summer. So it's the kind of song that as somebody that works at a music radio station, I already apologize because we're going to play that song to death and everybody's going to hate it by the end of the summer.
Right. Yes. And for those of you who don't know, Shannon's DJ. That's why we ask these questions. That's why she throws out terms like earworm.
Okay.
Like a yummy earworm.
Yes.
Sounds kind of gross. Next in the dish, Jeopardy host Alex Trebek called to talk to GMA yesterday about his journey with cancer. The host was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer a year ago. Now take a look at what his wife said about him continuing to work on the show.
Alex has been working through all of this. Have you ever looked at him and said, honey, take a break. You could miss a show.
Yes, I mean, so to my girlfriends, yes, but I know it's what feeds him. He loves doing Jeopardy. He has his own family over there. They're such a close-knit, beautiful group of people. So I think that gives him a lot of support, a sense of purpose, and that he's just not in bed and can be productive.
Well, Alex says he knows what he's going to say in his goodbye message and that he's going to keep it pretty brief. Only 30 seconds. If you were diagnosed with something like terminal cancer, stage 4, would you want to keep working or would you be like, I'm done?
I would especially want to keep working if I was of the age that Alex Trebek is. Like, because I feel
Right.
like once you get to a certain age, if you start winding down too soon, then you just pass away. You you need something to continue to motivate you, as sad as that is. So if I was in my 70s, I'm gonna keep working if I have a job like that.
Well, and I didn't know, I had no idea he was 79, right? 79. He doesn't look it. I know he doesn't look like he's 40, but he doesn't look 79
Right.
to me either. But
So I figure you got a lot of stuff you want to get in before you retire. And so what's he gonna do when he retires? So he might as well go to work.
right. And I think one thing that he said in that was really interesting was he talked about how a lot of fans have been sort of outpouring of this is what your show has meant to me, this is what you've meant to me. And I think that's cool because a lot of times, like we're gonna talk about Prince later today, we don't get to tell people how much we appreciate them
Right.
until they're gone.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. And of course, we'll keep you tuned about Alex Trebek.
I
All right.
also appreciate the fact that he is so honest about his legacy in this thing, going, I don't have anything to do with who they're going to pick next, but if you're as nice to them as you are to me, they'll be fine.
Right, absolutely. All right, next in the dish, if your New Year's resolution is to save some money, like I feel like everyone, maybe try staying off the internet at night. So a new study by Sleep Blog found 60% of people bought something online between midnight and 4 a.m. sometime this year. Almost half admitted to buying something online within an hour of waking up. So the majority of late night online shoppers are younger women. They're buying clothes on their phone, setting them back an average of $165. And yes, if you're wondering, they do experience buyer's remorse. Nearly 3/4 say they tried to return whatever they purchased. Instagram is the devil. Because that is where you do it. You start doing this, and you're like, oh, that's a cute outfit, and you click it, and then it comes from some like weird manufacturer in China in the wrong size, and then you got to ship it back. Like, I feel that.
Yeah, I does say, and it takes forever to ship it back. So,
yes.
But I have had certain ads that have followed me around for so long that I'm like, yeah, do need to buy that. You're right.
So true. Like, I do need that dog collar.
Exactly.
Like,
that's how I ended up with these new Honey Loves. The new shapewears. I'm like, this ad speaks to me.
This
at
is my
2 a.m.
ad.
Right.
It's true though. I mean, I feel like so many people do that. I do it less when I go to bed. My thing is more like what they said about people when you wake up, because sometimes I need something to stimulate my brain.
Right. That's the whole reason why I keep my thing password protected, where I have to put my password in before I can buy anything on Amazon. Because you can do so you can just like one-click buy, or you can do it so that you can have to put your password in. And I figure I have to at least be awake enough to effectively put my password in on my phone. And I don't have my glasses on, I can't see it. So there's been lots of times that me and just spelling errors on my password have saved me $100, because I was like, well, I guess I wasn't supposed to buy it.
Hot tips from Shannan,
Exactly.
everybody.
Keep your password in.
You have to stay here because that's where we have the tips. Lots more coming up on The Jason Show today. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Still to come on The Jason Show. The force is strong with this one. Jason joins us live from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to give us a behind-the-scenes look at one of the newest attractions. Plus, a real-life Best in Show here in the Twin Cities. Meet 3 dogs who are part of this weekend's Land O'Lakes Kennel Club Dog Show happening at the XL Energy Center.
Have you set any New Year's resolutions yet?
Shannan hits Rosedale Mall to see what people are changing for 2020.
Oh, golly darn.
If anything at all. Make a resolution to stick around this hour on The Jason Show.
Welcome, everybody. 2020 marks 25 years since Mariah Carey rolled a roller coaster in this video for her #1 song, Fantasy, that you heard us so lovingly singing.
I know, because we all know the runs and the da-da-da-das.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Earlier this week, Mariah became the first artist to earn #1 Billboard song in 4 different decades. I mean, have you even heard of anyone come close to that?
Cher.
Okay.
Cher. Yeah, so she was right there. And I think there's some semantical reason why Cher isn't in the same boat. Because like it's some like weird music math. That's the only reason Cher didn't get, because she would technically be able to like chart it in like 6 decades. But I do think it's interesting, like this is really one of those, you notice a big music shift between that decade, if you go 20 years ago to ours. And there's sometimes where you're like, well, the music sounds the same.
Right.
But that one, I was like, there was a very different style, I think, back then. Because all of us, like, I was like in high school hanging out with all these songs, wishing that I could wear all those little short shirts. And I'm like, yeah, you cannot do that.
I think I wanted to wear them, and my mom was like,
you're
like,
not doing that.
Not old enough for any of this. Now, as we celebrate the beginning of the new year, we're looking back at some iconic songs like that one, celebrating their 25th anniversary this year.
And it's quite a list, and we'll definitely take you down memory lane. So let's start with the album that dominated the year.
It's not fair to deny me of the cross I bear that you ought to know.
Alanis Morissette's burst onto the music scene with her song You Oughta Know from the album Jagged Little Pill. That album sold 16 million copies, making Alanis Morissette a star, and recently became a Broadway musical.
I didn't know that.
And I think she's back out on the road. She's going to be touring that song again. So if you want to get that vibe again, you can go out and see all those people. So all those people that used to be like that Lilith Fair crowd are out there touring again now.
People
I
get
thought
out
that
your clothes.
It was fantastic, like that whole thing, because it was like you got your aggression out. It's still one of my favorite songs that when you go out and you do karaoke, you're like, somebody please do Jagged Little Pill.
That's
anything
true.
off of that album. You were like, it's just, you know a lot of those songs. So if you do You Oughta Know, everybody's going to be singing along.
That's my favorite type of karaoke, is singing the songs that no one's listening to because everybody just knows all the words. Like Don't Stop Believing's a good one.
Right. So if you aren't a fantastic karaoke performer, just pick a song that everybody knows all the words to, and it'll just be a big sing-along. You'll be fine.
Jagged Little Pill. Again, tip number 2
Ta-da.
from Shannon today.
Yeah.
Next up, signature song from one of the biggest girl groups of the 90s.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. I know that you're gonna have it your way or nothing at all, but I think you're moving too fast.
Waterfalls.
Love it.
Love it. That's by TLC, of course, that came out in 1995. It dominated the charts and earned several awards. The song was known for taking on issues like AIDS and drugs and promiscuity, promiscuity. It's like the hardest. Thank you so much for that. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, that was good. Despite its success, now this is really weird. When I read this the first time, I was like, this is not believable. TLC ended up filing for bankruptcy. They said it was because of a bad record deal, but I also, by the way, like to call this song as the most mumbled song.
Because nobody really knows the
goes,
words.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. So against the lakes and the lakes that you used to.
And that's really a lot of songs. Like when people like ask me how come you can listen to K-pop music, I'm like, nobody knows the actual words to songs these days anyway.
Who cares?
So I think that was one of those things that you talk about a lot of people following fashion trends. TLC was definitely a sing-along band, but also we just want to look like them. Like there was really like, how could I do that? And how can I talk to somebody in the, well, it's really cool if I have one thing under my eye. And you're like, maybe not.
I shouldn't do that, Kendall.
Now, the biggest song of the year in 1995 went on to become one of the best-selling singles of all time. And you're definitely going to remember this one. That's Coolio's Gangstas Paradise from the movie Dangerous Minds, which sold more than 5 million copies in 1995, topping the charts in 14 countries. So to know that you're just worldwide with that. Money and the power, minute after minute, hour after hour. You know that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, Shannon knows all the songs. And I'm like, I know this song, but I don't know any of the words.
I think it's just a matter of, too, because in 1995, I was in college. And so it's funny when you get to that point where you're in high school and college, that's when you get to select your own music. Instead of like when I'm a little kid, in like middle school and I really wanted to listen to something, but your mom got to decide whether you liked it or not. So you were the ones that decided whether your CD player was on repeat or not.
Yeah, I mean, my mom, I don't know if she turned on Gangstas Paradise because I was like 5 or 6 when it came out. And it was
It probably would be a little disturbing if your mom did have you get down with Coolio. I mean, I'm all for like, being a fair parent, but just a little bit, I don't think if baby Kendall needs to be doing if you were talking about Gangstas Paradise in the suburbs, I think we would have had to have a talk.
Hey guys, in 1995, to help usher in the country crossover craze, my mama definitely played this song.
Okay.
I need a man who knows how the story goes. There's gotta be a heart beating fine, taking breathtaking, earthquaking kind. Any man of mine.
Yep, down in the sticks of Red Wing, Minnesota. Shania Twain hit it big with Any Man of Mine. It was her first #1 hit on the country charts and also cracked the top 40 on the pop charts. Now, Shania became the crossover queen with her later albums, paving the way for Taylor Swift and others. Like you said, this was not a thing, and now Taylor Swift and all those ladies have Shania to thank for it.
And I think it also turned into one of those favorite wedding songs where you're like, it made it okay to have a variety of different music at your wedding.
It's a fun one. All right, other songs turning 25 this year. We didn't forget them. They include Just a Girl from No Doubt, Runaway by Janet Jackson, and This Is How We Do It by Montreal Jordan. All right, next up, it's one of the most talked about new amusement park attractions in years. The Rise of the Resistance at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney World Hollywood Studios.
Get your lightsaber.
Thank you. It opened just a few weeks ago.
So Jason himself got to experience it recently, and he's going to join us live via Skype from Hollywood Studios in Orlando. Hey, Jason.
Hey, ladies, how are you? May the force be with both of you.
Thank you very much. May as it is with you as well. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, how is it?
Well, as you said, we are here at Galaxy's Edge. Right behind me, Shannon.
Yes.
You'll recognize that. So
yes.
You, Kendall, that's the Millennium Falcon. You can also see the thousands and thousands of people. Okay. Once again, Walt Disney World here in Orlando setting record attendance. I've never seen the lines that long. 3 hours it's going to take for those folks to get on the Millennium Falcon. But that's just one ride. The other ride that you guys just mentioned is Rise of the Resistance, which had a whole bunch of buzz before it opened just a couple months ago, actually last month here at Walt Disney World. The whole ride itself is 22 minutes long. Different ride systems are used, 3 or 4 different ride systems. And it's so busy, I've had to get up, people have to get up about an hour before park opens just to get a guaranteed spot.
Wow.
Shot. If you don't want to know anything about this ride, look away for just a little bit. Okay. But I have a video that I shot for all of you. You're looking at the first part with Ray in hologram, and this is, I believe, you're looking at probably the most impressive part, the hangar. You are standing inside a made-to-scale Imperial, well, I should say, First Order. A Star Destroyer. It is breathtaking.
Wow.
It's one of the few things in life that lives up to the hype. It is giant, Kendall and Shannon.
Wow.
The doors open to that Star Destroyer, and you gasp. There's an audible gasp. And it's the most comprehensive, the longest ride ever created for Walt Disney World. And again, I'm just going to say it again. Yes, crowds are massive. Yes, you're going to be waiting a long time. But I mean this, it is worth it. Oh. I've ridden it now 3 times, and each time I find something to make me go, wow. It makes you feel, guys, like you're in a Star Wars movie. It really does. It's a cliche, but I mean it.
So excited to see that. I'm glad you're enjoying that. You know, you definitely wanted to live up to the hype when you're such a big fan, Jason. So we're glad you thought it was great.
Yeah, and all of this, I mean, this is just insane. I've been here at various parts of the year. I've never seen it like this. A lot of headlines said, oh, the attendance is down in Galaxy's Edge. Oh, Star Wars is in trouble. Nobody told these people because it is more packed than I've ever seen it. There are waits for bathrooms.
Well, Jason, I ran into some people that were glad that you were there, and they are living vicariously through you. So we're glad that you love it.
I love it, and I think you will too. And I will see you guys back on Monday with more stories.
Happy New Year.
Safe travels.
They say bright suns here. Bright suns.
Bright
guys.
suns.
Bright suns. This is the wrong thing, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's Star Trek. Stop that.
Darn it. I was so close.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. The video he took looked just like regular movie video that we've seen.
Right. And you have high expectations when you have a theme park like that, so I'm glad it's living up to it.
So cool. Well, he'll be back on Monday, but we've got more show today. Still ahead, there's a new film festival coming to Paisley Park with movies played on Prince's own big screen. We'll have details coming up.
And then 1,600 dogs are coming to St. Paul this weekend for the Land O'Lakes Kennel Club Dog Show. We've got dogs in the house, and we'll be right back.
Who let the dogs out? Who? Oh, what a good one. It's been 36 years since one of the best music-based movies hit theaters. Of course, Prince's classic, Purple Rain. And now Prince's home and studio turned museum is set to host a new film series focused on music and concert films.
Now, Paisley Park Cinema, music on the big screen, features 3 iconic movies this month, shown on a big screen with Prince's own top-of-the-line sound system. So here with more information is the Executive Director of Paisley Park, Alan Seifert. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you both.
So, Alan, how did this idea start?
Well, what we decided to do was, with this new year, we really wanted to kind of go back to what Prince loved, which was he loved to create moments. He loved to create great moments of performance, great moments of just music. So we really thought about it. We said, well, what is it that we think Prince would do? And we realized, for those of you who've been to Paisley Park, he used to love movies.
Right.
And he loves music. So it occurred to us that why not pick some films that actually are the best concert films out there, but also really demonstrate that kind of creative power that Prince loves so much. So we picked these amazing films. The first is Watts Stacks. If you've not seen it, it's a terrific film. The second one is Amazing Grace. And the third one is Dave Chappelle's Block Party. What's interesting about each of these is that they very, very much capture great performances, but they're also really snapshots into kind of cultural movements. So we just felt that this would be a great way to start off 2020. We have a lot more projects coming up, but it just felt right.
And Alan, for some of us, I've been to Paisley Park a number of times.
Great.
Kendall, so where in Paisley Park is this going to take place?
So as you know, Paisley Park is about 65,000 square feet. And Prince created in that space a 12,000 square foot soundstage.
Right.
Just like this, actually, a real soundstage. And that's where he would practice his concerts, he would show films. So we've decided to take his amazing sound system, put it on, and put these music films on this big screen. So it'll be on the soundstage at Paisley Park.
That is amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so this all
It's gonna be
kicks
great.
off next weekend.
Yes.
You mentioned the 3 films that you've done. The one that really stood out to me that was interesting was the Dave Chappelle's Block Party, because there's so many big stars in it.
It's great.
Why pick that one specifically?
Sure. Well, first is that Watts Stacks, let me just back up a little bit. Watts Stacks was a really kind of pivotal film. People call it kind of Black Woodstock. Prince himself references the film. There's some dancing in it, there's some moments in it, there's some artists who he just both was inspired by and actually played with. So when we looked at the films, we also realized that, like we were saying before we came back, Prince would have probably wanted to invite all his friends over to see Aretha sing.
Right.
So Amazing Grace made sense. Dave Chappelle's Block Party was important for us because, one, he created the film in part based on Watts Stacks.
Okay.
So he wanted to kind of capture that moment. If you've not seen it, it's a great block party. He pulls together these amazing talents. But the other reason we included it was a snapshot into that kind of next period of time. It's a time that in many ways was influenced by Prince, whereas Watts Stacks, well, it was Prince when Prince was young and he got a lot of his kind of visions from there. Block Party shows kind of the influence of Prince in many ways, and a lot of the artists have played with Prince. They talk about Prince, so it just felt like a nice bookend.
Okay. So when they're part of this experience, so you buy your ticket, do you get the tour as well? Do you get just this movie experience? How do they participate?
So you buy the ticket and you get a great film. On 2 of the nights, you'll also have the opportunity to have a great dance party.
Oh,
because
wonderful.
it is Paisley Park,
Yes.
and we very much believe in not just watching great recorded performances, but also really enjoying and actually celebrating it. So after the first film and the last film, we'll have a DJ party where we're playing the best music from those films.
I love that. We're looking at a little bit of that Aretha Franklin. That's amazing.
It is a great film.
Yes.
It really is.
We talked about this a little bit beforehand too, and you've been to Prince's lair when he was alive and around, and you said you used to wait around.
Oh,
and
right.
You would wait to see if he'd come.
I was
up
one
to
of those people that
play.
all of a sudden one of your friends would go, hey, we heard that Prince is coming
Yeah.
out, and we would all drive to Paisley Park and then lean up against the wall while the DJ was playing, just waiting until like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Absolutely.
And then we're like, maybe he came out, maybe he didn't. And
Right.
that was part of the experience, is going, we're all not only fans of the artist, but fans of the activity.
Exactly.
And going, this is part of what we want to do. And that was why it was, for me, very impactful to be able to go back and see the wonderful job after you've turned Paisley Park into a
Great.
museum.
No, thank you. I mean, I think that kind of spontaneity, that freshness, he's not with us, so it's obviously
Right.
hard to create it in the same way. But when we do our events, we very, very much focus on how can we make this something special? How do we end up turning things up a little bit. So we announced, for instance, the film series kind of came quickly. We've been planning it for a long time, but it came quickly because we do like that idea of kind of creating something fresh. You know, Prince used to say that, you know, why does he go to the bakery every day? Because he wants fresh bread every day. So what we want to do at Paisley Park is not just celebrate the amazing genius of Prince, but we also want to create for people, not just in this market, not just in this area, but across the world, fresh moments of creativity.
And that must be amazing, like to sit there and not just memorialize somebody, but to actually go, we can carry on in the spirit of his memory.
Absolutely, and that was very much what he wanted. You know, it's an absolute honor. It's also really exciting because we can still kind of create moments for people just to cherish the amazing artwork that he did, but also just create these great opportunities for fun. So like this film series is going to be a great movie, but also a lot of fun.
Well, Alan, we thank you so much for joining us.
We're looking
Thanks.
forward to you guys.
Right, this is going to be a pretty cool event. Tickets for the Music on the Big Screen series are on sale right now. You can go to paisleypark.com for more information. You see it right there on your screen. Now, still ahead, dogs from the weekend's dog show are here. Yes. We'll give you a preview of what to expect in St. Paul.
But next, I hit the mall to talk to some people about their New Year's resolutions. We'll be right back on The Jason Show.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday.
Yes.
Happy Friday.
Just so you know, remind everybody we're super matchy.
Yeah, we're
bring
super
that
matchy.
up. Yeah.
We didn't intentionally try. We just
sometimes just syncopated. That's how it is. Right?
It's just syncopated. Well, hey, the New Year's oftentimes for a fresh start, which leads many people to making resolutions for the new year.
And I wanted to find out what resolutions people are making for themselves this year. So I hit Rosedale Mall with photographer Eric to ask them about it. Have you set any New Year's resolutions yet?
Yeah, not to set any New Year's resolutions.
Oh, come on now, not even one?
I fail at them every time.
We'll make it easy on you. You get to pick his resolutions this time.
What?
Yeah.
I don't follow mine. Why would I follow his?
Fair enough. All right. What if you got to select a New Year's resolution for her?
Oh, golly darn. Be nice.
Be nice. What would you do if you got to pick his New Year's resolutions?
His New Year's resolution?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, bud? Get taller? Do you want to be taller?
She did a good job picking. What do you think? Are those good ones?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm glad that you approve. What about if you got to pick hers?
Nothing.
Everything's perfect?
Everything's nice.
Oh, I wish I lived in that house.
Stop asking me the same questions over and over again.
Okay, your turn.
Be sure he has everything that he needs before he goes down the stairs because he has to go up 3 times.
So grab everything before you leave that. Those are very...
Where are my gloves? Where are my gloves? Where are my keys? See my glasses? Oh, they're on my face.
I like it because those are very achievable ones for 2020. Exactly. You got a whole year to get those done.
The bar is low.
I like it. What's his list then?
He wants to get a little bigger.
Okay, that works. So eat your vegetables, okay? He's like, no way. If you got to pick his resolutions, what should he do in 2020?
Laundry.
Laundry. All right, that's good. Did you hear that? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, now what should she do in 2020?
My laundry.
You don't have to do the laundry. That's okay. They can fight it out.
She can do it while she's watching the Jason Show.
Yes, you can watch the Jason Show. What would you pick for her?
Make good decisions.
Okay, that's a good one. All right, now it's your turn. What would you pick for her?
Not to stress out about things.
See, those are both really good. Do high fives? Nice, high five. How about you? Do you high five yet? You look a little pre-high five.
It would be to do more dishes.
Oh, wow. You get to pick his.
I don't.
He's got you in there with dishpan hands.
Stay awake.
There we go. Too many naps. And we'll have lots of things to work on next year. And the dishes will be good, and he can help because he'll be awake. It'll all work out.
Problem solved. About being good listeners.
That's a good one. Do you think that would work? You like that one?
Yeah.
Or you disagree?
Disagree.
That's good. If you can listen and maybe you get to play more. See, she's already not listening. We lost her already. What should she work on in 2020?
Oh, sharing her toys with her brother.
Is there any toy that you're like, all my toys except for this one?
Yes.
Okay, what toy can you not share?
New toys.
Okay, so is that okay? So all the toys except for the new ones.
Sounds good.
All right, then what New Year's resolution should we have for him?
Potty training.
So we go poop in the potty in 2020?
Yeah.
Poop in the potty in 2020. It has a good ring to it. What are your resolutions that they should work on in 2020?
To keep listening to Mom.
Ah, yes. Can you do that? Can you listen to Mom? You think so? Is that okay, listening to Mom?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that one. That's a good one. You're going to have a good year. How about you? Can you listen to Mom more? I like that. It's a good one. All right, thanks. Did you hear him? Like, he just roars away from us. I like that they immediately stop listening.
Immediately.
Right. Will you listen more? Right. No. Like, already done.
I thought it was interesting. You said that most people that you talk to were just like,
They don't have them. They don't have them. And we had just read a study that said that that is going away. So there's like competing studies. There's one that says if you do make a New Year's resolutions, you are like 40% more likely to actually follow through on it if you make a resolution this time of year. But there's also a bunch of information out there that says that making New Year's resolutions is significantly down year over year. So a lot of people just don't do them anymore.
That's interesting. I mean, I always try to do something, and they're usually vague enough
that you're like, I'm setting myself up for success.
Did it like this next year? I want to work a little less and enjoy a little more.
And we talked to one person, and I decided I was going to borrow this idea. She said she was going to make as much space for herself as she did for other people in her life. I'm like, that's a good way to put that. I like that one.
Take up space for yourself.
Yes.
I like that too.
So
Okay,
happy
it's
New Year.
yours.
We'll start it. Yeah. We'll start a good.
Can I steal that one
Good
too?
trend in 2020.
I'm gonna have more space for myself.
I like it. See, we'll borrow it.
We'll borrow it. We have space for a furry friend. A few furry friends. The dogs are here. We're talking about this weekend's dog show in St. Paul when we come back.
I thought it was a good.
Told you the dogs were coming. Look at them. They're all waiting for TRPAC. I know better than to say that out loud. More than 1,600 dogs are coming to St. Paul River Center this weekend for the Land O'Lakes Kennel Club Dog Show. And of course, like we said, we're lucky enough to have 3 of them with us today.
So please welcome Wayne Harmon, Brian Miller, Shannon Berger, and Roger. Roger, what's your last name for me? Carvey. There we go. Thank you guys for joining us.
We do have to ask what the dogs' names are.
This is Tara.
Tara. Winky. Max. And Max. Oh, sat when he said his name. That was so
I'll
cute.
go down here with them, and you can talk to Wayne.
So Wayne, tell me a little bit about. I love dog shows. I watch the one on Thanksgiving every year. I don't know though what I'm looking for when I watch dogs. So if anyone's a novice, they want to know what to do, what to look for. Give them some tips.
Okay, every single dog has been bred for a certain purpose, and we try to maintain what the breed was originally meant for, so it has to have a structure that meets what the job was that it was made for.
Okay.
So that is what they're judging for. They actually, each breed has their own standard, we call that.
And how many different kinds of divisions? So is it breeds, it's divisions? Walk me through this whole process.
We have 7 different groups that would be competing. There's 195 breeds eligible in those 7 groups. All 195 will go through the day trying to pick out the best of breed. It will go to the group. There'll be 1 winner from each of the groups, and then out of those 7, 1 will be best in show. And every day is a new day.
Okay, that's like when the lady, she has everyone run around her, and I'm always like, how do you tell the difference? It's amazing. Okay, we do need to start talking a little bit about these cute dogs.
Where do you want to start? Because I'm just impressed because we were saying they're so well behaved, and then all of the owners kind of in unison said, for now. So is it difficult when, I'm going to start over here. So is it difficult when you're like, okay, you need to be in your best behavior because we have a show to be part of?
Right. Well, Tara is, what do you want me to tell you?
You tell me about our puppy right here.
Well, she's about 3 years, 4 months old. Her father is a 3-time national gun dog champion. However, she's the exact opposite. If there was a gunshot, she'd be running for the hills right now.
Okay. So how do you know, like, do you go, okay, we have this puppy, we're going to see if they have their temperament to be in a dog show, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't?
Well, I don't really compete in the dog show myself.
Okay.
I myself am just looking for I'm kind of a Vizsla snob. So.
Oh, okay.
Say what? Vizsla? That's how you say it?
This is a Vizsla, yes.
Okay.
Hungarian hunting
That would be
dog.
a Hungarian hunting dog,
So
yes.
Shannon, are you also a Vizsla snob?
Not as much as Brian.
Okay.
But this is our third Vizsla.
Okay.
And hunting is completely inbred in them.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're out on the trail or something and you're just letting them run and they hunt,
Okay.
they point, they hunt, they go, they run, they're high energy.
Wonderful.
And Roger, what is Max?
Well, Max, we're still trying to find out exactly. Right now,
That's what people say about me. You're fine.
he has recently been labeled an All-American dog, which
Okay.
I like very much by Wayne. That's great. So Max is All-American. We do know he is 100% cute.
Oh yes, the eyes are perfect. Absolutely perfect. So
I wanted to know a little. They are really well behaved, obviously, and they're parts of these events with a lot of dogs. Do you have any quick tips for all of us at home to get your dog to behave like this if they're ever on TV or in a group of big dogs?
Well, if you get your dog at 8 weeks, definitely spend some time doing, I say 6 to 18 weeks of training.
Okay.
I actually use a trainer who does show at the dog show, Tammy Graybill, and she has been a wonderful trainer.
That's I need tips.
And then treats.
treats. Wayne, are there any new breeds this year that
Yeah, we have
people
two
check
new
out?
breeds this year. We have the Dogo Argentino, would be a South American sporting dog. And then we have the Barbet, which would be a French sporting dog.
I was going to say,
Those
that
are
sounds
new.
very French. Sounds very
So they're
French.
new this year. Their first day of eligibility would have been January 1st.
Okay, and if
And
someone wants to come out, is there a specific big event that they need to watch?
There is a schedule right on the website, landolakeskennelclub.org, and that will give you the times that each breed will show, and you could see the different breeds at that time.
Any
We
favorites?
also, well, I was going to sneak in there. We also have
Yeah.
dog show tours that will take you all the way around the dog show. You can learn all about a dog show. We have a partners program in which they will have all the good things that dogs do. We'll have the detection dogs and the search and rescue dogs and therapies. All those groups will do presentations.
Okay.
And then upstairs in the Roy Wilkins Auditorium, we will have a Dog Expo, in which all these organizations that do different fun things with dogs will be up there. There's about 17 different things you can do with your dog, and you can get information about those activities upstairs. So there's lots of things to do in connection with that. And my big one is the St. Paul Police Canine Unit will be there tomorrow afternoon at 2:15 to do a detection seminar.
Oh, neat. Okay, so ton of different things. You don't just watch a show. You
No.
go and do all sorts of things at the River Center. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This was very, very, I love the treats.
I just love Max's eyes. Hi, Max. Yeah.
Well, the Land O'Lakes Kennel Club shows this weekend at St. Paul River Center. As we were saying and Wayne was saying, for more information, you can head to landolakeskennelclub.com.
And we'll be right back.
.org. .org. Google it, everybody. Hi, guys.
I know.
I said, I have an all-American dog, too.
I think we're really cute, but we're not as cute as Max, that all-American dog that was there. Those eyes, mesmerizing.
So cute, so cute.
Well, Jason is back on Monday, so don't forget to get your tickets to join us here in the studio this month. Just go to the Jason Show Facebook page, click on tickets on the tab there, and you can sign up. Remember, they're free. You're in and out. It's a great experience. We always encourage you to come down.
And you might see Tom Butler.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
know, right?
I know,
Right?
the highlight of the tour.
You might see Tom Butler. We'll be right back to wrap up the show.
Maybe. He's like a ghost. He pops in and pops out.
Is this what's happening right now?
Exactly, yeah.
I've been flossing behind the camera, everyone. Flossing. When we don't have an audience, things get crazy.
We need a behind-the-scenes video that we'll create.
Like
yes.
a GoPro that just films everything that happens during the commercial breaks.
Yeah.
Now, before we go, crazy video out of, you guessed it, Florida, Tampa, Florida. Check this out. A doctor walking by an elevator in his apartment building sees a neighbor's dog gets its leash stuck in the doors of the elevator. So when the elevator started to go up, he jumped into action. Oh my goodness, you see it right there. He quickly broke the collar, which ended up saving the dog. Now the dog was a little rattled, but otherwise He was okay. The doctor said he was just glad to be in the right place at the right time.
Oh my gosh, and those reflexes, I'm glad that he was able to do
Right,
that. Poor
and just
thing.
you just think that quickly. You always say like, oh, I wish I could do this, I could help with that. But I mean, in the heat of the moment, it's hard, it's stressful. You're like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, some people freeze. He jumped into action. That was perfect.
Leave it to the doctor to like be able to figure it out too.
Exactly.
I would like be trying to unhook a collar. I wouldn't, oh gosh, it would just be a mess. Well, that was fun today. You said, I do before we go. We have like 30 seconds, but you said the funniest
Go to Miss Shannan. Which story?
The one about the dog with the,
so there was another dog at a police station where they were doing a Toys for Tots drive, and this dog was slowly stealing the presents for himself. So they put the dog in timeout, but they were able to like recoup everything in time for Christmas. Yeah.
And if you want to check out Shannan.
Oh, MissShannan.com, Shannan with an A. Go all the things there.
Hey, Money on the Show. Jason's back from his vacation. We're helping you get organized for the new year with some useful tips, plus a recap of Sunday night's Golden Globe Awards. Join us on Monday, everybody, and have a great weekend. Go check out dog videos online.
Thanks,
That's what
Kendall.
we'll be doing.